Today's topic is evidence-based practice. It's not a very spiritually known topic. It's in fact brought from the medical science. Recent in the late last century, this had been used in the practice of medicine, and later on it went to the practice of psychology. This, in fact, it means evidence-based practice is the integration of the best available research with clinical expertise in the context of patients' characteristic culture and preferences. So there the medical practitioner is supposed to prescribe the treatment on the basis of what he has learned from the book, the rule of the medicine. Not only that, the particular individual case has to be regarded. So without that, there will be no perfect treatment. For example, a person has diabetes, certain level of blood sugar. If you just give this much of blood sugar, then you have to give this much of pills. So he has to get 2 pills for the treatment of, because he has high blood sugar. If you don't consider person's particular quality, particular characteristic, that medicine will be overdosed or overdosed. You have to take into consideration how active is that person, how much exercise he does. If he does exercise, you have to give less amount of medicine, less dose of medicine. If he is lazy, you have to give greater amount of medicine. So the person specific has to be done. It's not only the rule that will really treat the person well. So person-specific treatment, along with the research that has been done, the evidence that has been received from the recent research, from your own integration, your knowledge of the books, that will make the best treatment of the person by a medical doctor. The evidence-based practice can be in science also. How will you do research unless you have the evidence? You have certain things in front of you that this has been the evidence of the research that has been done. From there on, you have to go forward. This practice of medicine is based on scientific evidence. True for all branches of science or any life scale. Even when we try to go to the moon on a spacecraft, we identify the goal, study the science of launching a spacecraft, many years of study, learn from others who have been there, conduct experiments, map the path, follow a strict discipline, and get guidance from professors, etc., etc., and then we go to moon. So many things is involved when we do any scientific endeavor we take up. So like that thing we need to do what in spirituality. Is how it is relevant in our spiritual practices, we are going to look into it. Once you get there, you bring back experiences and evidences to share with others and to inspire earnest aspirants. In the spiritual path too, we study the evidence that is provided by books and research papers. What are the books and research papers in spirituality and religion? Those are the scriptures. The scriptures are the recording of the experiences of the seekers who had realized persons. And then discuss the experiences of others who have or are walking ahead of us. And what is that? That is holy company. What is holy company? You go to a person who has learned more than you, who has experienced more than you, and you want to learn from him or her. How can you progress in the path of spirituality? He is like a teacher. And then discuss the experiences of others who have or are walking ahead of us, holy company, and then follow the advice given by those teachers. We can say professors. And who are the professors and teachers? They are, in the term of Vedanta, they are called Guru. The Guru is the one who will guide you because he knows. And what he has experienced, he will guide you. And the perfect teacher, expert Guru, will guide, will practice EBP, evidence-based practice he will perform. He will guide the student according to his capacity, according to his characteristic, according to his or her qualities. And that will be the evidence-based practice. Ordinary teacher, he will have one set of teaching. To everyone he will say the same thing, do this. But that will not be the EBP. The expert teachers, like avatars, as was being read, the great prophets, great Son of God, those are the person who really practice evidence-based practice they perform, and there is quicker and easier progress of the student or the disciple. And they will ask student to follow the strict discipline in spirituality. Without discipline or practice, there will be no progress, no achievement. So that is fundamental. But how to guide, that is the quality of the great teachers who really take into consideration the goal, the means, and the capacity of the student, or the inclination of the mind of the students. In Hinduism, there have been 4 classes, Varna, Shrama, Dharma they call. So according to the different mindset, the society is divided into 4 groups. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. They have been practicing this, what the medicine is practicing since late 20th century. The religion, Hindu religion, has been practicing for ages this thing according to the individual need, individual quality of the practitioner. He has to give that teaching. It was always there. Purpose of human life, there are many purposes, many goals of human life. We want to have a decent life standard. We want to have enough money to lead our life sufficiently happy and without any stress in life. We want to have a good health. We want to do little service to our family and close friends. And we want to be happy and peaceful in life. That is the goal of life every human being thinks. But this is not the ultimate goal of life. Ultimate goal of life is to attain that happiness, that peace, which will never be separated from the person. The peace that we talk of, today we are at peace, happy. Tomorrow something happens, we are gone down. We are very stressed. That peace or joy is very short-lived in ordinary life. So this goal that the human being has set is a temporary goal, just a goal very in front of you, very close to you. But what is the real and ultimate goal? Sri Ramakrishna will say, you have to find out the truth, the reality who you are. That you say, realization of God, knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of your own real self, whatever you say, the understanding of the truth, whatever you say, to know that who really you are is the ultimate goal of life. Why we need to have that goal of life? We are very happy with what we do. No brother, no sister, you can't be happy all the time only with eating and drinking, and you can't be merry always with that. You may have that, for some time you'll be there, but there is something in our hearts which is not satisfied just by if you get food and you have a little good health and little you have good understanding with others. Your heart will not satisfy with that. It will always crave for something which it really stands for. If you are in ignorance, you will never be satisfied without having knowledge. If you don't know, you know the whole world, but you don't know yourself. You will always be feeling lacking something. So, to satisfy oneself fully, one has to understand who really that person is. Who am I? That one has to understand. Or who is God for a devotee? That he has to find. Without that, craving of the soul will not be satisfied. Whatever wealth, whatever good conditions the world may give us. So there is that hunger in our soul that is everlasting. So the real purpose of life is to attain that highest stage. What is called God realization, what is called knowledge of God, what is called attaining the supreme truth, that has to be God. Why do you have to reach the goal? Why do you have to reach the goal? Because saints and seers, they have said, the Shankaracharya says in one beautiful Bhaja Govindam, today it was being said in our morning chants, the glory of the Guru, that without attaining the love for Guru, whatever you get in the world falls short. You will not be satisfied. Guru ranghi padme manas chinna lagnam tatah kim. What does it matter? And the description was, you may have lot of learning, you may have recognition of the whole world, you may have great wealth, but if you do not have love for the lotus feet of your Guru, you have achieved nothing. Guru is the ideal. The Guru is God Himself. If you don't have love for God, whatever you gain will be very insignificant. It will not give ultimate bliss, ultimate joy in life. Your heart will never be satisfied. When will the heart be satisfied? The seers, teachers, scripture say, unless our hearts were made for Thee, O Lord, unless we reach Thee, this will not be satisfied. There will be always craving there. The Gita says, Yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tata. It says, when you reach that God, that goal, only then you will find that nothing more remains to achieve. I have achieved the goal. Then you desire nothing, you seek nothing, you are satisfied, you become tripta, satiated. Finally you are totally satisfied. Where are they satisfied? Atmani eva atmana tusta. You are satisfied in your own self. You don't seek anything external to get that satisfaction. You are satisfied in your own self. You are happy with your own self. You don't need anything external to be happy. And when will that happen? Only when you reach that highest state of knowledge or highest, the greatest love for God. Only then it will happen. Material goal is always, as I said, it may be a goal, but it's always impermanent. So in Bhaja Govindam, Shankaracharya said that Ma Guru Dhana Jana Yauvana Garvam. You are very young man, you have wealth, got a good degree, good intellect, and got a good job. Now earn a lot of $100,000 per month you get salary. And nice house, you have everything. But don't be proud, Shankaracharya says. Don't be proud of your wealth, your family and friends, and your youthful body. How long will it last? And not only that, you will enjoy that life for, say, 40 years, 50 years. It's not certain. Harati nimeshat kalaha sarvam. The time is such that it may all go in a moment, in a flash. Nimesha means winking of the eye, that time it takes nimesha. In a moment of flash, anything that you have set as a goal and if the thing you have achieved, it can just vanish. It can be taken away from you. Someone very nicely described that what we get, this body, this human life, the wealth, the good surroundings, everything, are all gifts of God. God really didn't give it, God had lended it to us. And it belongs to God. Our life, wealth, family and friends, this all belongs to God. By mistake, if we think that it is our, and God can take any moment this, and by mistake if we think it is ours, then we are trespassing others' property and thinking as ours. And what will happen in this trespassing? It belongs to God, and I have started thinking as my thing, my property, belonging to me. Then there will be punishment. When you trespass others' property, then there will be punishment. The cops will come, the owner may call the cops, and you may be taken to the custody. So what is the punishment here? The punishment is anxiety, worry, stress. All these are the punishment of trespassing to God's property as saying my property. This body belongs to God. The wealth that we accumulate, we earn, that belongs to God. My family and friends, they are all God's persons. No, nothing is mine. I belong to God and everything belongs to God. In the process, if I by mistake say, that is mine, this I do, then this becomes trespassing and there will be punishment. So, to save yourself from punishment, you have to remind yourself that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to God. I also belong to God. This body also belongs to God. So let God deal His things as He likes or she likes. Why should I get worried of the things? So if you can do that, then you are at peace. You are free. So the evidence of when Arjuna was taught by Sri Krishna regarding the duties in life, that if you perform duties unattached, your heart will be pure and you will attain the highest. And your mind will be unwavering, it will be peaceful. And that stage called Sthita Prajna. When Prajna means intellect, it is Sthita, it's fixed, it's firm. Where firm? Firm in the knowledge of your own self. And when that firmness is there, intellect doesn't waver, it doesn't shake. Today I am thinking of God, and everything belongs to God for a moment, and next moment you think someone says to me, and then I think, oh, this body was mine, this thought was mine, and I become angry. Why do I become angry? Because I have felt that about my own self, that this is mine. If you think it is God, let God be angry. Why should I be angry? So that doesn't happen by mistake. So Sthita Prajna, what they do? They know for certain that nothing belongs to them. Their mind doesn't waver from the knowledge of truth. From their mind doesn't shake. That's called Sthita Prajna. So Arjuna asked, Krishna, you talked about the glory of a realized soul, but I want to know how that person behaves. He says, Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kimashita vrajeta kim. So Arjuna asks, how that person of knowledge, how does he behave? And how can we recognize by his common dealing in the world? How does he walk? How does he sit? How does he talk? Simple things. Is there difference by that person doing? Then Sri Krishna says, yes, this Shankaracharya, when he was writing from the Gita, he said, here Sri Krishna will be describing the qualities of a realized soul. And these are the evidence of the realized soul. And for the practitioner, it becomes a goal to achieve. These are meant for seekers to practice so that they can reach that goal. Describing the qualities of a realized soul, Sri Krishna wants Arjuna and others who want to improve themselves, who want to evolve spiritually, to set these qualities as goal and practice to attain these goals. What is the goal, he said? Sri Krishna describes that Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. He says, the quality of a realized soul who has known Brahman, whose intellect is fixed on the self. So he doesn't have any desire. All desires are gone. He doesn't seek to do himself anything. He becomes an instrument in the hands of God. God starts guiding him. He will do excellent work in the world. But without anything, that ego, that I have to achieve this, I have to do that feeling will not come. He becomes a servant in the hands of God, a tool in the hands of God, and he does go on performing his duties very nicely, wonderfully, and will achieve great things. But neither he feels that he is doing on his own, nor he or she feels that he or she is doing for her or his sake. So that is one quality. And when that happens, it's all desires, selfish desires for name, fame, wealth, these all are gone. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. From his or her mind, all such selfish desires are gone. So there will be a question that if person is without any desire, he doesn't seek anything, then he may be very unhappy person. Sri Krishna clears in the next verse, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tusta sthita pragyasta dochate. One is that he will not seek anything. Another quality is he will be very happy and satisfied person. He will be very peaceful person. Atmani, how will he get peace? Because he has the things that God has provided him? No, he is happy within himself. Atmani eva atmana tusta. That is the quality of Isthita Pragyasta Dochate. Then another verse he says, Dukkheshu anudvigna mana. Such person, when suffering is there, they will not be disturbed. They will not be unhappy. They are so much happy inside any suffering. Dukkheshu anudvigna mana. When dukkha comes, we find dukkha, something lost comes, something is lost, something is separated, some disease comes, they are not unhappy. Nothing can disturb their peace of mind. Dukkheshu anudvigna manaha, sukheshu vigata spriya. And happiness comes, fame comes, glory comes, praise comes. They are vigata spriya. They are not attached. They are unconcerned with those things which we normal people see as the things of great value. For them, it doesn't matter anything. They are unconcerned with the praise. They are not disturbed with any difficulties and disturbances. They are not disturbed with any problems, dukkha, any suffering. That is the quality of a realized soul, he said. So here, these are being given as the evidence how the realized souls are. So what we need to do? So whenever something comes that is disturbing us, we have to find, why am I disturbed with this thing? So I am becoming too selfish, too self-centered. I have to give up that. I am identifying too much with I and mine. These thoughts, this body, I am taking as belonging to me. That has been wrong. So this is the punishment that I get by trespassing some God's property. I have to be alert. So these are the evidences, and that will lead us to practice. I should be unconcerned when there are a lot of good things coming. I should be not miserable when suffering comes, not disturbed when suffering comes. Dukkheshu anudvigna manaha, sukheshu vigata spriya, vita raga bhaya krodha. In such person, Arjuna, Sri Krishna says, their raga, bhaya and krodha, three qualities are gone, are lost. They are free from three qualities. What are three qualities? Are raga, attachment, bhaya, fear, and krodha, anger. There is no attachment to anything. So they are so much detached from the things of the world. There is no attachment to anything of the world, neither to the wealth, nor to the property, nor to the relative, nor even to their own body they are attached. So, Vita Raga, with this great knowledge of detachment from identifying anything belonging to themselves, they become free from fear, bhaya. So who can be free from fear? Who says that it doesn't belong to me? Nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to God. Then what is fear of losing anything? What is the fear of getting old? What is the fear of getting disease? What is the fear of death? Who dies? This body is not mine, it is not me. Let it die according to the nature's thing. There is the recycling process. Death is just the recycling. Person of knowledge knows it is just the recycling of the material out of which this body is made. Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, and this makes the body and hydrogen, and they again go to the simple compound, then the elements, and they again combine, makes the body of another person. They say that the molecules that we have in our body were used by other bodies in the past. And they came as the food, and then we got there. The same very molecule that was part of another body a few years ago, that have become the part of our body. So this will disintegrate and become the part of another body. So like that, the creation, the different forms, the plants, the animals, this can go to anywhere. So like that, the person of knowledge will not be attached with this body, because he will know that he is that being that has no destruction. His soul, his spirit, his self, his Atma. The person in reality is Atma. There is no fear. So that person is free from attachment and free from fear. one who is free from fear, how can he be angry? We are angry because we are afraid. Any anger it comes because of fear. So, someone comes and speaks something ill, something bad you don't like. That is also because of fear. You had your certain idea about yourself, certain prestige, certain honor you conceive, and someone comes and says something wrong. You feel you are punctured. Your prestige is punctured, as they say in some language. Your prestige is made down, and you are afraid. And often they say, oh, that person said that bad thing in person. Other persons were there. In front of everyone he insulted me or she insulted me. If she had told me alone, that was not the matter. But in front of many persons, that person insulted me. That is great fear, and that fear causes anger. So why fear? Because that the idea that person has about himself or herself is disturbed. That fear that people will think something different because the person has insulted me, and they may believe the fear of their own idea about themselves being disturbed makes one angry. That's all about when you feel angry with other. Always it is about something you are afraid of. So that person, Sri Krishna says, the one who realized has no anger, has no attachment, and free from fear. Practice this evidence of the realized soul and try to be fearless, try to be free from attachment, and try to get rid of anger that comes to you on and off. That he says. Yas sarvatra anabhisneha tattat prapya shubha ashubham. Bad comes, good comes, don't be attached to it. Then he says, Yada samharate chayam kurmunga niva sarvasa indriyani indriyarthebhya tasya prajna pratisthita. So how is that? As the tortoise, when its limbs are touched, it withdraws the limbs. So Arjuna, you withdraw whenever you feel you are attracted to the world and you feel the object of the world becomes essential for your living, for your joy, for your happiness. Whenever this sort of idea comes, withdraw your senses. Like tortoise withdraws its limbs when it is touched or disturbed. Be self-controlled. Don't let the things of the world be master of your desires. Don't make the world your master. Be master of yourself. Then you will be free from that thing. And they, the great holy men, are the master of themselves. Nothing can make them fear. Swami Vivekananda used to say about that great sannyasi. Some great king from other country invaded India, and that half-naked fakir was living in the forest. Somebody in his kingdom said, that is a great sage, very wise person. Bring him back when you come to your own country. The king approaches to that person, that sage. He says, come to my country, I'll give you honor. You'll be like a gem of my kingdom, and just I'll give you whatever you wish, I'll provide you. You'll be very happy there. The sage says, but king, I don't need anything, I don't need honor. I am very satisfied with myself in this forest, half clad, half clothed, eating the fruits. I am very happy, I have no desire left. I am very happy here. King said, you don't know, I am the great emperor, conqueror of the world. If you deny my request, I can kill you this very moment. The sage laughed as it were and said, King, you never said these false words in your life that you are speaking now. You kill me? Do you think you can kill me? You can't kill me. It is impossible for you to kill me. No one can kill me. Even God cannot kill me because I am Atma, I am a spirit. I am immortal. So forget that. You see how this person had conquered fear of death, the greed for honor, and any desire for pleasure. And that is the great sage, and he was always happy. When one is happy with himself or herself, what does he need other thing to make happy? So this was the evidence. This shows us the practice, to do practice, how we can transform our lives in such a way where never become servant to the situations in the world. We always are master of ourselves, never disturbing our thoughts. So, this evidence always guides us. They say that teachers often say that if you take care of 4 things, you will achieve this sort of height of spirituality. What are the 4 things you have to do? You have to have great regard and faith in 4 things: Guru, Ganga, Gita, and Gayatri. These 4 are just symbolic. Guru is the teacher, someone whom you believe, someone who has achieved the thing, someone who think he can guide me. He has achieved the thing, I can be guided by him, I will make him my teacher. And whole life process he will guide me. He is the Guru. And finally the Guru, not only the human being, the one who is not present in his body, but has given a great teaching. Jesus is a Guru, Sri Ramakrishna is a Guru. Anybody can be Guru like that. So Guru is that person whose teachings you feel can give you ultimate knowledge, ultimate happiness. Ganga is considered to be a river who can purify you. It says the ritual. Whatever little performance, spiritual practice you do, that represents Ganga. Whatever Guru says or the scripture says that you remember God, think of God, don't get angry, that sort of thing is Ganga. And what is Gita? Gita is the scriptures. Whatever scripture you like, follow that is Gita. And Gayatri. What is Gayatri? Gayatri is the mantra. What is mantra? Mantra is the teaching of Guru that you need to remember always. And Gayatri represents the teaching of the Guru that you need to follow. If you practice these 4 things, Guru, Ganga, Gita and Gayatri, you will achieve that state. When no one can make you shake from the peace and happiness that you are established in. You will become Sthita Prajna, you will become Samadhistha. That's what Sri Krishna had asked. I was talking about great teachers like Sri Ramakrishna or Jesus who were born and who practiced evidence-based practice. They treated their student in that way. In Sri Ramakrishna's life, we find how he practiced in the 19th century itself, that how he treated his disciple according to his quality differently. There is the example of 2 disciples, Swami Yogananda and Swami Niranjanananda. Many of you have read that. Both were Sri Ramakrishna's disciples. Once Niranjanananda ji was coming to Dakshineshwar by boat, someone criticized Sri Ramakrishna. And Niranjanananda became very angry and he asked them to stop that. They were still talking. He said, if you don't stop, I will sink this boat. And he started rocking the boat. He was a very well-built person. And rocking the boat, he was so angry, you criticize my teacher, my master, what do you know about him? And he came and told this story to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna said, what were you doing? Why were you so angry? Anger takes away human beings' wisdom. You were very wrong in doing that. In the fit of anger, you don't know if you had sunk the boat, so many people would die. Many don't know swimming. You might know swimming and come back, but what would happen to other people who were not in the arguments? So much of anger is bad. You must control your anger. Another time, Swami Yogananda, another of Sri Ramakrishna's disciple, very quiet, very mild, he was also coming, and somebody happened, they are also criticizing Sri Ramakrishna. So Swami Yogananda sat quiet and came unhappy though, but didn't react at all. So came and related this story to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna said, what have you done? Someone was criticizing your guru, saying ill of him, and you sat quiet. You didn't even say a word of protest. You must have protested. They say in Shastra, if one criticizes one's guru, he should cut the head of that person. That Shastra says, Sri Ramakrishna says. And you didn't even utter a word of protest that you know wrong. You don't know my guru. He is not as you are talking of. You should not do that. You should protest when someone criticizes your guru. How 2 different persons, 2 different types of teaching Sri Ramakrishna gave. He wanted to make Niranjanananda a little milder, a little sober because he was very angry and vigorous. He wanted to inspire Swami Yogananda to protest the wrong things, not to keep in the heart, but to protest outside. And people will listen if you protest. So becoming more forward more smart in the present language, modern language. So he wanted to treat these two persons in a different way, you see. When Swami Narendranath, when Swami Vivekananda, as Narendranath said, I want to be in Samadhi, and by your blessing give me that power that I want to be in Samadhi, always preserve Samadhi. Sri Ramakrishna says, what are you saying? I want you to be like a banyan tree and serve people and take away their suffering and give them shade, and you yourself want to have the joy of Samadhi? You are not meant for that. You have to give joy of Samadhi, joy of happiness, happiness and bliss to the whole world. For that you are meant. And later on he wrote, Naren will teach when he will call inside and outside. He will give a clarion call abroad and at home. So that was his teaching for Narendranath. But Swami Brahmananda, when Swami Brahmananda he wrote something and asked him to meditate, then he was so happy that he is in Samadhi. And he told that to all the disciples in front of that, he said, you see, this Swami Brahmananda has so much quality, he can rule a kingdom, he could have become a king, indicating that you can trust on him as a leader of a group. Hearing this Ramakrishna thing, later on Swami Vivekananda made him the first president of the Ramakrishna order, and he did, in the long service about 21 years, he served the Sangha and made the Sangha grow. That was the difference of teaching of Sri Ramakrishna according to the difference in the personality of his disciple. A disciple said, sir, how to get rid of lust? Someone was practicing, trying to get rid of lust. It was so difficult. He came and said, how to get rid of lust? So he used to always, vichara, he used to think a lot, like discrimination, dispassion, all those things were doing. Sri Ramakrishna said, take the name of God, repeat the name of God. That disciple thought, what is this prescription to get rid of lust? Getting rid of lust is so difficult. And he gives such simple thing. Either he just wants to avoid, or he doesn't know something, he thought. But he said, oh, but he is a beloved person, he is a very loving person, so let me repeat that name of Hari, name of God sometime. And he repeated the name of God, and he found to his surprise that, yes, he could control lust, he could get rid of lust because of just repeating the name of God. For him, that Sri Ramakrishna taught, the simple method, repeat the name of God and you will get rid of lust by that power of the name of God. That was it for that person. To Swami Vivekananda came and asked, sir, is it necessary to renounce the world? Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, if one thing is kept above other. If you want the lower thing, what you will do? You remove the upper thing and you get the lower thing. If world and God are there and world covers the God, you have to remove the world to get the God. He said that to Narendranath. So, renunciation of world is necessary to attain the highest realization. He said to that. There was another disciple, Yam. He was very frustrated with life, slowly came to Sri Ramakrishna, got his love, got his attraction. And then he said, I want to renounce the world. He said, no, you cannot renounce the world. You have to be in the world. Look after your children, your wife, and do great things. You are a teacher. No, renunciation of the world is not permitted for you. Two persons, goal is God. You have to reach God through, as a householder's life, as a family man. And another, you have to reach God by renouncing everything. EBP, evidence-based practice. Goal, evidence is there. Truth is there. It can be realized by the means. That path is suited for you. That path is suited for you. Not that one path is suited another. That's what Swadharma is always practiced. Girish Ghosh, I want to finish with the reading of Girish Ghosh. Girish Ghosh was a very intelligent person. Had very creative knowledge, was a literature, dramatist, writer, but his life was very wretched. He was a drunkard and he was a very uncontrolled lifestyle he had. But when Sri Ramakrishna saw him, he had his own way to bring him to the fold of spirituality. When he came drunk at 12 midnight and comes to Sri Ramakrishna sees him drunk and starts dancing holding his hand. That was Sri Ramakrishna's method. And another time he came and he asked Latu, another attendant was there, Swami Kripamayananda, see that he might have left his bottle in the carriage, go and bring that. So, bottle of wine, and he would let him drink that. He knew that if I ask him not to drink at the first outset, he will never come. He is so addicted to that. But later on, that very Girish Ghosh became a saint-like person. Sri Ramakrishna never said, don't drink. He said, how did he start? How did he practice this evidence-based practice? How did he train in that manner? He said, before drinking, can you offer that drink to God? Whatever you do, God has said, offer that to me. Before you drink, can you offer that to Divine Mother? Say, yes, I will do that. So he started offering that. Just, Mother, please take that. And then he used to drink. After that, slowly it happened. He became a saintly person, drinking gone, vices gone. He became really holy person. That is the change Sri Ramakrishna could bring from any person. His practice was, his treatment was really evidence-based practice. From the gospel, there is a conversation I have to read before I conclude. So Girish Ghosh comes, he feels great love of Sri Ramakrishna, who was not considered a person fit to talk. People used to go to see his drama in the theatre, appreciate his creation, but never liked the person, never liked the creator as a son. So nobody approached him, nobody talked to him, really didn't love anyone. He didn't get love from anyone. It was Sri Ramakrishna from whom he got the real love. He was overwhelmed. He said, you cannot be human being. No human being can love me. He himself knew what wrong he was doing. He said, he used to say, if I sit in a place, the 7 cubits below that becomes unholy, becomes polluted. So I am that sinner. He had that idea. Sri Ramakrishna didn't see that person, that thing at all. He saw some good qualities that person had. Girish Ghosh had tremendous faith. And he got love from Sri Ramakrishna, and that love transformed his life. Let me read before I conclude from Girish Ghosh, how he treated Sri Ramakrishna, treats and guides Girish Ghosh. Girish to Sri Ramakrishna, please bless me, sir, master. Have faith in Divine Mother and you will attain everything. Girish, but I am a sinner, master. The wretch who constantly harps on sin becomes a sinner. Girish, sir, the very ground where I used to sit would become unholy. How much guilt feeling Girish Ghosh had. And how Sri Ramakrishna is elevating him. Don't think yourself as sinner. You may have done many wrong things, but don't condemn yourself. There is chance, there is way for your upliftment. And you can do it. That's how he's making him this thing possible. Master, how can you say that? Suppose a light is brought into a room that has been dark 1,000 years. Does it illumine the room little by little or all in a flash? See, you may have done wrong things. This very moment something happens and all your vices will go. Goodness is inherent quality of human being. The vices are added things. Remove the vices, your own goodness will come out. That's what the Sri Ramakrishna's philosophy is. That's what the Vedanta is. Every soul is potentially divine. Every soul. That is the thing. Then you have blessed me, Girish Ghosh says. He knew that if Sri Ramakrishna blesses, he will become pure. All his bad things will go. Then you have blessed me, he said. Master, if you sincerely believe it, what more shall I say? I eat and drink and chant the name of God. He doesn't say, I have the quality to redeem you. I am a simple person, just I chant the name of God. That much, whatever power you say is in me. But you have great faith. That is your great quality, your Girish, he says. Girish, I have no sincerity. Please give it to me. You see, he knew about his weaknesses. Often we don't know about weakness. If we don't know about weakness, how will you remove? We have weakness, we need not harp on that. When we come to know about weakness and defects, we then can try to remove that. All weaknesses and defects can be removed. That faith we have to have, and we have the guidance and blessing of our Guru, of teacher of God. Everyone has has got that power. We need to have that faith. So here also, he said, I am not sincere. Please give it to me. Give me sincerity. If you say, be sincere, I will be sincere. How this faith has come in Girish Ghosh, you see. Girish has a tremendous faith. That was the great quality that saved Girish Ghosh. One quality, swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. A little of dharma, little of good quality, even a little, swalpa, very little, may remove great fear from you. That quality Girish Ghosh had was faith. Girish, no, Master, I can remove your, I can give you sincerity. He says, sages like Narada and Shukadeva would have done that. Girish, I don't see Narada and Shukadeva, but you are here before me. But I have caught your hold. Like Tulsi Dasa was searching about Rama, someone said, you catch hold of one Hanuman. He comes, when Rama's name is son, he comes in the form of an old man. Catch hold of him. And he will be able to show you Rama. So he was there searching for a person, and he saw in the corner an old man was sitting. Tulsidas goes there and catches his feet. And you have, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have to show me Rama. What are you saying? I am an old man. What Rama can I show you? I have to find Rama myself. Like that he was saying. No, I know you who are. I will not leave you. You have to show me Rama. Finally, have that faith in that person is Hanuman. Finally, Hanuman told him the way how to get Rama. So, one catches hold of, he had that faith in Sri Ramakrishna. I don't know Shukadeva and Narada, you may say that thing. But I know you are before me, you have to take this, give this me, this power of sincerity. Master, all right, you're happy to see this faith. You have faith. You see this quality. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. This dharma he had, faith he had, that was the great power that to remove all the evils. They say little spark of fire can burn the heap of cotton into ashes. All remained silent. The conversation began again. Girish, I have one desire. He had a lot of desires unfulfilled. Now he says what desire he has. See how his heart is being purified. I have one desire. Love of God for its own sake. Can you imagine this desire coming to this person? Can you see the purified mind? How many of us have that desire? Love of God for love's sake, wanting nothing from God, but only wanting God himself or herself. Master, only the Ishvara Kotis have such love. It is not for ordinary men. All sat in silence. The Master began to sing in an absent-minded mood, his gaze turned upwards. Can everyone have the vision of Shyama? Is Kali's treasure for everyone? Oh, what a pity my foolish mind will not see what is true. Even with all his penances, rarely does Shiva himself behold the mind-bewitching sight of Mother Shyama's crimson feet. To him who meditates on her, the riches of heaven are poor indeed. If Shyama casts her glance on him, he swims in eternal bliss. The Prince of Yogis, the King of Gods, meditate on her feet in vain. Yet, worthless Kamalakanta yearns for Mother's blessed feet. Master to Girish, one can realize God through intense renunciation, but the soul must be restless for him. As restless as one feels for a breath of air when one's head is pressed under water. Again he says, a man can see God if he unites in himself the force of these three attractions. The attraction of worldly possessions for worldly man, the husband's attraction for the chaste wife, and the child's attraction for its mother. If you can unite these three forms of love and give it all to God, then you can see Him at once. Cry to your Mother Shyama with a real cry, O mind, and how can she hold herself from you? If a devotee prays to God with real longing, God cannot help revealing Himself to him. The other day, I told you the meaning of bhakti. It is to adore God with body, mind and words. With body means to serve and worship God with one's hands, go to holy places with one's feet, hear the chanting of the name and glories of God with one's ears, and behold the divine image with one's eyes. With mind means to contemplate and meditate on God constantly and to remember and think of His Leela, divine play. With words means to sing hymns to Him and chant His name and glories. Devotion as described by Narada is suited to the Kali Yuga. It means to chant constantly the name and glories of God. Let those who have no leisure worship God at least morning and evening by wholeheartedly chanting His name and clapping their hands. Sri Ramakrishna's solution common solution for everyone is take the name of God, repeat the name of God in your mind as much as possible, and your mind will be pure and you will achieve God vision in this very life that he says. He says to Girish, you can do it. And compared to Girish, we are much fortunate not to have deep drowned in such vices. We are much holier, much better persons. So we have greater chances. Sri Ramakrishna says, Girish goes, you can do that. Just direct all your love for God. And Girish goes like that. I want to have love of God for God's sake. So if you could say that, a little prayer, and then this will be a great help to really attain.